Your heart's desires are not some far-off fantasy that maybe one day you hope they'll come true. This is literally your heart's map to get you there. It's guiding you there. You just have to listen to it. Welcome back to my channel where we are growing, healing, and creating evolutionary change. And today I'm going to be giving you guys 5 tips on how you can get into alignment and raise your vibration to manifest the life of your dreams. Your heart does not have the desires just for shits and gigs, you guys. Like, you have that goal in mind. You have that thing that you've always wanted on your heart, because you are meant to have it, because that version of you already has it, and your heart is guiding you towards it. Your heart wants you to go towards that so you can be fulfilled. Your heart is guiding you towards what is fulfilling you, but sometimes 99.9% of the time we're listening to this and not this. We're not listening to our hearts, we're listening to our minds. We're not listening to our intuition and our inner guidance. We're listening to what our ego has to tell us. We're listening to what our head has to tell us. And as you guys probably know, it's negative. It's always telling you, you can't do that. Oh, that's unrealistic. You need to go get a job. You need to go work to make money, right? It's telling you that your dreams are not realistic. It's telling you that your dreams are far off and it's just a fantasy. But what cruel joke would it be to give you these desires? If God gave you these desires, it would be a cruel ass joke if it was never going to happen, if it was never meant to happen. And that's why I will always say the only roadblock towards you, your path, and your dreams is you. It's you. We self-sabotage ourselves all the time. We self-sabotage ourselves by telling ourselves we can't do this. We self-sabotage ourselves by telling ourselves that we're never going to make it, or that it's too unrealistic, or, you know, I don't have enough money, or I have more important things to worry about. You're putting off your happiness every single time. We are meant to live our most abundant and happiest lives. Don't you think you deserve that? I think you deserve that. As a fellow human being on this earth, I think you deserve that. It is quite literally your birthright to have everything that you want, everything that your heart desires, all of the money that you want, all of the resources that you want, the opportunities. Like, it's there. You just have to perceive it. You have to believe it, and you have to have that faith and trust that your heart is guiding you in the right place at all times. Okay, I have my notes here, so I'm going to be giving you guys 5 tips on how you can shift into your desired reality, how you can manifest the things that you want, how you can create a more happy, fulfilled, and abundant life without feeling so miserable or stressed or anxious all the time, because it's possible. It's not normal for us to be anxious. It's not normal for us to be negative. We've been taught so much by society that we have to fit in a certain stereotype, and that's quite literally impossible. If you look at all of our fucking fingerprints, each and every single one of them is unique. So why does society expect us all to be doing the same thing? Head scratch. Like, we're all not meant to go to work a 9 to 5. We're all not meant to do the same thing. We're all not meant to go to college. You know, some things that are meant for other people are not meant for us. And that's why you need to follow your own path. By the end of this video, you are going to believe that you deserve everything that your heart desires. You are going to be taking the steps and the action to get aligned with your desired reality. Okay? Because I cannot stress this enough. You deserve it. This is your birthright. In order to manifest your desired reality, you have to observe yourself in a way that you've never observed yourself before. Our mind, like I said, we listen to it all the time. And it might be shocking for you guys to know that we're not supposed to use our mind all of the time. 99.9% of the population uses their mind for literally everything, uses their intellect for literally everything. And it's very rare that we go towards our heart for guidance, that we actually sit down, sit in stillness, and listen to what our body is actually trying to tell us. Hold on. Instead of just believing every single thing that your mind says, start questioning yourself. Start questioning the reality that you're living in. Ask yourself, is this job that I'm at really making me happy? Are these people in my life really making me happy? Am I making me happy? Observe yourself like I said, in a way that you've never have before. Start questioning every limiting belief and every negative thing that comes up in your mind. Ask why. Why do I believe this? Where did this come from? How is this holding me back? And observe yourself. Every single thing that you do, like from the moment that you wake up, observe yourself and observe your behavior like a person is following you around every single day. And observe your behavior. Observe what patterns you have. What do you do as soon as you wake up? Do you scroll on your phone? Do you like go off into your mind and start thinking negatively? Do you go to work? Like, what do you do? And are these habits contributing to the life that you want to live? Your mind creates fear, anxiety, worry, negative things. It's your ego. You have to differentiate between your ego and your higher self. Your ego is always going to tell you everything's wrong. Like, your ego is loud as shit. That's why your thoughts are loud as shit. And when you believe them, then you are going to be pulled into this like negative spiral. Then you're going to feel bad, and then you're not going to want to do anything, or you're going to procrastinate, or you're just going to go off into this whole tangent and be like, poor me, or you're going to get into victim mode. Ego is victim mode. Ego loves victimizing themselves. Ego loves being negative and thinking that, you know, the worst thing possible, thinking the worst scenarios possible. And think of this like another person, you know, like you are around another person and this person's always negative. This person is just fucking chaotic and they're very dramatic, right? And you're around this person and that's just like, that's not something that I want to be around. So what do? You ignore that person, you pull away from that person, you don't give that person any attention, and eventually they go away and disturb somebody else. So this is exactly what I want you to do with your thoughts. No matter how loud it is, no matter how disruptive and chaotic your mind is, I want you to just observe it. And a good way to observe your thoughts, because I know it's like sometimes when we're first getting introduced to like the thought of self-observation, we're just like, okay, well, how do I do that? What honestly helped me, and this is from the book called The Biggest Secret. If you haven't watched The Secret, I'm going to link that down in the description below, because that is another gem that you need to watch in order to manifest your desired reality, because it basically tells us that our thoughts create our reality along with our emotions, and if your thoughts and emotions aren't aligned, you're going to manifest negative things. And that's just facts, okay? That's quantum physics. So if you haven't read The Greatest Secret, she basically goes in and she says, we are awareness. We are nothing but awareness. And through society and through conditioning, we have taught ourselves to believe that we are the mind and we are the body. And that's why the biggest fear on this planet right now is death. Everybody fears death because they're afraid of their physical body dying. And they think that they are going to die along with their physical body, when that is further from the truth. We are eternal. Our essence is eternal. We have eternal life. You don't have to worry about, oh, what if I could live forever? You already do. You're just not going to be in this physical 3D realm. And honestly, I wouldn't want to. Like, why would you want to come back here? Just for the money? Like, girl, bye. Like, yes, you're here to live your dream life. You're here to manifest the life that you want and get all of your desires, but why would you want to come back here and live on this earth forever? I don't know. Besides the point. She basically says that we are just awareness. And she said this one thing. She said, what's looking through your eyes right now is awareness, and it's always been awareness. And I was like, So like my attention immediately went to like my eyes, and I was like, oh, this is awareness. And it may sound goofy right now. I may be sounding like I may be making no sense to you right now, but just try it. Like, this is a constant practice. This can take years to develop. I haven't even fully developed my awareness yet. I still have those moments where I'm just like in my head, very negative, but it's important to really observe yourself and constantly be in that self-observation mode, because that's where you're going to get the most growth. The first big thing, in order to even begin to start manifesting reality, it begins with self. You cannot manifest anything outside of you without beginning within yourself. As within, so without. You cannot manifest anything externally unless you do the internal work first. This is why it may seem like whenever you, like, let's say you wake up and you stub your toe one day and it just starts spiraling from there, and you get in a bad mood, and then you spill your coffee, and then, you know, your boss at work yells at you and you get pissed off and you get into an argument and you just go to bed angry as fuck because you never allowed yourself to release the emotions from that very first instance. You just believed your mind. You didn't allow yourself to truly express your emotions. You just believed whatever your thoughts did, and it just spiraled from there, and it manifested all of these negative circumstances to further emphasize that thought. Your thoughts have power. The biggest power that we have is our thoughts. We are co-creators with our reality. We are co-creators with the universe. And in order to become a successful co-creator with the universe, you need to observe yourself. You need to observe the patterns and the habits and the beliefs that you hold, because then you can start to question them. And this is where shadow work comes in. Once you start observing yourself, and mind you, this is a continuous process. This isn't like, oh, I do this for a week and then I'm done, or oh, I do this for 2 weeks and I'm done. Like, no, cut the shit. If you're really wanting to manifest your dream life, you need to put in the fucking work. Like, yes, it's your birthright and you're supposed to have it, but you have been through years of conditioning. Like, however old you are right now that you're watching this video, like, you have been through however old you are is how many years you've been through conditioning. So you need to rewire years and years and years of conditioning, and you think that it's just gonna come like this? Like, yeah, there's going to be some things that manifest once you're on that certain level. It's stages. It's stages of growth. And if you're at the very beginning, you need to start from the very beginning. Don't try to rush the fucking process. Like, you need to put in the work. Okay? Like, that's my biggest thing. Like, if you want something, you're going to do it. I don't care any circumstances and any excuses that you may have. You can go look at my story. I'm not going to say it on here because this is about you guys. This is about me helping you guys. But if you look on my page, you know my story. Okay? I don't want to hear any damn excuses on why you can't do anything. You heard my story. So therefore, I don't want to hear shit about, oh, I can't do this. Oh, da da da. Like, you need to put in the work, and that's self-work. You need to limit the distractions, work on yourself, get to know yourself. A lot of us are running away from ourselves. We don't love ourselves. We don't respect ourselves. We give ourselves away to the bare minimum. Like, you think you're worth the bare minimum? You think you're worth $15 an hour? You think you're worth fucking whatever relationship that you're in, that the person's not treating you right? No. Okay, like, no. That's not the energy that we're going in for 2024. Like, if you're not gonna put in the work, and if you're not, like, willing to do the things that are hard, you can just click off this video right now, because that's not the people that I'm talking to. The people that I'm talking to are sitting here watching this video because they're ready to put in the work. They're ready to do whatever it takes to manifest their dream reality. They have that mustard seed of faith and know that regardless of whatever circumstance or situation they're in right now, their dream reality can come into fruition. These are the people that I'm talking to. I'm talking to the people who want to learn. I'm talking to the people who have that motivation and that drive within themselves, who have a greater calling. I'm talking to my chosen ones. I'm talking to my light workers. I'm talking to my starseeds. I'm talking to all the people who haven't yet been awakened and want to step into their dream reality. It is possible. I'm telling you, it is possible. A good tip to observe yourself is, as soon as you wake up, I know it's gonna sound so tedious, but like I said, you need to be willing to put in the hard work. As soon as you wake up, carry a paper and a pen with you and start writing down every little negative belief and every thought that you have, every habit. I know there's things that are like habit trackers, and you can like track whatever habits you do throughout the day. That's the same thing with your thoughts. You're gonna write down any like big, loud, negative thought that you have, any limiting belief that you have, any habit that you have that's undesirable, anything that doesn't make you feel good. I want you to carry around that journal and write down every single thing that's negative, every single thing that's not working for you in your life, that person that makes you anxious. And another thing for self-observation is look at the people around you. Whatever you despise in others, whatever you can't stand in others, whatever triggers you in others, that's a direct link to your shadow. Because everything is a reflection. Whatever you despise in other people, that's a direct reflection of like, oh, that's something that I have within myself that I don't want to admit, so therefore I'm projecting it onto other people, and it makes me mad because I don't want to see it within myself. It's a crazy concept, but it's so true. Once I started looking at other people's behaviors and things that triggered me about other people, I asked myself, does this correlate to me in any way? Does this reflect me in any way? And I was so humble that day. I was so humble. I was literally like, I can't say shit to no one. Like, you are your obstacle. You are your biggest fucking obstacle. It's no competition. It's only you, yourself, and God. That's it. Because everything outside of you is lessons. Everything outside of you is reflections. Write down these habits. Write down these negative beliefs. Write down these patterns. And then once you do that, you start doing shadow work, because now you have the foundation. Now you're like, okay, I have an idea of what habits I don't like. I have an idea of what doesn't make me feel good. I have an idea of what limiting beliefs that I have. Observation gives you the blueprint for where your current state of reality is, because you're operating wherever you're at right now, you're operating at a certain frequency, and it's attracting the experiences that you already have right now. So if you want different experiences, you need to be on a different vibration. And the first step, like I said, to raising your vibration is self-observation. And then once you know, you're going to move on to step 2, and that's shadow work. Shadow work is a very helpful and useful concept that Carl Jung came up with. And it's basically about exploring your psyche, exploring your subconscious mind. And day to day, you may think, oh, I'm conscious, I make conscious choices all the time. But you're not. It's really your subconscious mind is what's running the show. Because from the time you were born up until age 7, you formed your whole entire belief about the world. You formed your identity and who you thought you were, based on the things that your parents told you and society told you, your teachers, your friends, anyone who's in your life. You learned from them. And you formed this whole entire persona around it. And that's what's controlling you. All of that childhood trauma, all of those repressed emotions, all of those habits that you had, that you formed around trauma, you being in survival mode, that flight or fight response, that's still within you. If you haven't learned how to heal your nervous system, if you haven't learned how to deal with your trauma and actually face your fears, then you're still operating off a program. Like, I'm sorry to tell you. Like, if you listen to your mind, if you believe your thoughts, if you're still operating and attracting negative experiences, and you just have like a negative way about viewing the world, you're stuck in a program. That's the matrix. Your mind is the matrix. It's not any other thing that's controlling you. Yeah, the government can be whatever. I'm not even gonna get into that, because the government can make it harder for people to awaken, but essentially you have all the power within you. Like, there's nobody and anybody stopping you from achieving your dream life. It's all you. It's all you. And once you take responsibility for your life, you can start to change your life, and that starts with shadow work. So some of the ways that I recommend shadow work is to get a journal, and I'll link some shadow work prompts down below in the description. You can literally get them off Pinterest. I know that there was like this shadow work journal going around on TikTok. Yes, you can get that if you're like straight out, I don't know anything about shadow work and I want to learn the concepts. Yeah, you can go and get the shadow work journal. It's decent, but I've been doing shadow work for a while now, and honestly, I'm tried and true. Pen and paper works every time. You don't need anything extravagant, and that's how people hold themselves back too, by thinking, oh, I need this and then I can start. Oh, I need to do this and then I can start. Oh, I need to buy this and then I can start. No, pen and paper. If you don't have a pen and paper, we need to talk, because come on now. So once you observed yourself and once you kind of have an idea of where you're at, then you can start questioning this even more. You could take it a step further and start to get to the root of the problem. And so once you have this limiting belief, you can write it down and start asking yourself why. Start asking yourself, how did I even develop this limiting belief in the first place? Who did this come from? Where did this come from? Ask yourself where, what, when, why. And that's going to get you to the root of the problem. And I promise you 100%, once you get to the root of the problem, it's no longer going to be an issue. It's going to like dissolve. Once you feel that emotion, once you go through that trauma again, yes, you're going to have to go through the trauma again. I'm not saying you're going to be put directly back in the experience, but you're going to have some feelings, and they're going to be intense. And that's where the hard work comes in. You have to be willing to feel uncomfortable in order to get to the place that you want to be. Every single time you feel uncomfortable, every single time you feel yourself going back to negative habits, stay in that mindset of, this is what I want. Keep your dream life in mind. Like, whatever you want, whatever you're desiring, keep that in the back of your head. Because these are all of the actions and all of the steps that you're doing to be aligned with that. It's gonna be so freeing. Like, once you guys get to the root of whatever limiting belief that you have, once you start questioning yourself, once you start actually getting to know yourself, oh my gosh, you guys, it sets you free. It sets you free from the shackles that you have been bound to for years and years and years. Even just doing one shadow work prompt, even just getting to the root of one limiting belief, it's life-changing, because then you're like, oh, I have a chance to rewrite my story now. That's the thing. Once you get to the root of that limiting belief, once you identify what behaviors you have, you get to rewrite your narrative. This is so fun. You get to do shadow work, discover what you've been taught that wasn't true, who other people told you were, what kind of identity that you developed around your trauma. You get to release that, which can be painful, but it's also beautiful. Think of a butterfly. It's in the chrysalis, right? And it's forming. It comes out to be something so beautiful, with such beautiful wings that can fly. But then also at the same time, we have people in the chrysalis stage and they come out to be moths. Either one. So choose to be the beautiful butterfly. Choose to do the work. Choose to get to the root of the problem, because I promise you guys, on the other side of that is everything that you ever wanted. Because like I said, you get to rewrite your narrative. And doing shadow work and rewriting your narrative is also figuring out who you want to be. Because the dream life that you have already exists. So you gotta tap into that higher self. Ask yourself, what would she look like? What would she smell like, he or she? What would they do on a day-to-day basis? How would they interact with other people? What does a day in your life look like? Think about it as a vlog of your life. What would you be doing? How would you be acting? Where would you be going? What would you be experiencing? How would you feel? You have to get very descriptive about how you want your life to be and who that person is that has that life. And you visualize it every single day. Every single day. I'm talking 2-3 times a day. In order for you to develop that negative concept of self in the first place, you had to have some training. People constantly told you stuff. You were constantly exposed to trauma, and it was repetitive. The subconscious mind works off of repetition. This is probably why one of the biggest reasons people fail at manifestation is because they're not consistent with it. The subconscious mind works off of repetition. You cannot just expect to do something for a week, a month, even 3 months, 6 months, and then just give it up. This is a lifelong process. Knowing yourself and getting to uncover the layers of yourself is a lifelong process that you have to be committed to. And during this process, you're going to become such an amazing person. You are going to be blessed with such amazing things that it's going to be like every new level that you get to, every new stage of growth that you come to, it's going to be set with a whole new life, whole new experiences, because you're choosing to do the work. You're co-creating with the universe. So you have to repeat this every single day, at least 2 to 3 times a day. When you wake up, if you have a vision board, look at that vision board every single day and start to visualize what your self would be, what your higher self, what the version of you that has that thing would do. What would they be doing right now? What habits would they have right now? How would they act right now? All of those questions. You look at that vision board and you visualize yourself in that scenario. You visualize yourself in that vision board living out that life over and over and over again. You have to be determined. You have to be consistent. You have to have that dream life in your head. Continue to go for it every single day. Continue to visualize it every single day. Visualization works, you guys. Meditation works. Affirmations work. This is why people say these are the biggest manifestation techniques, because they work. I'm attest to that. Once you get closer and closer to that reality, the universe is going to start sending you more signs, more angel numbers, more synchronicities to let you know that you are on the right path. You're going to be in tune with the universe. You are going to be raising your vibration each and every single time you continue to observe yourself, you continue to do the shadow work, and you continue to visualize. This all together is just going to chef's kiss. It's going to create such a beautiful life for you. You have to be committed to knowing yourself, because this is how you get everything you want. Once you know yourself, you know your power. And once you know your power, you can use it for good to attract the things that you want to have, because nothing is off limits to you. You are the universe experiencing itself. That's why everything is a reflection. That's why you are a co-creator with the universe. So therefore, anything that you put out into existence, anything that you do internally is going to be reflected back to you through your experiences. So if you want to have positive experiences, you need to have positive thoughts. You need to think positively about yourself. You need to have that love inside of your heart. You need to listen to your intuition. You need to constantly be in self-observation mode. You need to detach yourself from your mind and your body. You need to know who you are. In order to attract what you want, you need to know who the fuck you are. And once you know that you are the universe experiencing itself, once you know that everything is a reflection, once you know that people, places, and circumstances in your life are just lessons that you need to learn, You like, if you don't know what vibration you're on, if you don't know what level that you're on right now, if you're operating from a high vibrational frequency, look at the people in your life. What do these people say to you? Are they positive? Are they uplifting? Do they encourage you? Or do they put you down? Are they shady? Are they conniving? Are they in competition with you? Like, this is exactly going to give you the key to yourself. Because if they're shady and they're competition with you, and they're in competition with you, and they're just all about drama and chaos, what does that say about you? Why are you associating with these people in the first place? What does that reflection have to say about you? What does this reflect within yourself? And also the way that you're thinking. If you're constantly attracting negative experiences in your life, if your car is always breaking down, something's always happening to me, oh my gosh, I'm broke, I can't ever afford anything, how do you expect to experience anything different? How do you want to be rich but constantly say you're broke? How do you want to have your dream life but always do the exact opposite? How do you want to have your dream life but then do things that broke people do? Like, I'm sorry, like, look at examples of what you want to have. You need to stop associating with people who have a mindset of lack, who think that they're broke, who think that they don't have anything. Like, no. Visualizing creates a whole entire new identity, because in order to attract your dream life, you need to be a completely different person. You need to have completely different habits, a completely different mindset. So whenever you're doing this process, I'm telling you, it's not going to be easy. You're going to want to give up. You're going to want to quit. You're going to have those days where it's just like, I don't even know if this is going to happen. You're going to have those days where you lack faith. I've had those days. I've been there, done that. I've had days where I'm sitting here crying. I felt so alone. I had nobody. And I didn't know whether or not my manifestations were going to come in. I didn't have that much faith. I was like at my wit's end. I was like, okay, I've been doing all the things for months, almost a year now. And it's like, okay, where's it at? I've been doing all the work, but it's the journey, not the destination. It's so like, and I used to hear this and I used to be like, oh my gosh, like, I don't want to hear this. I understand, whatever, but I just want to experience my dream life. I just want to have what I want to have. I just want to be at that place. But then that makes attachments to what you want to have. You're so attached to the future. You're so attached to your dream life and where you want to go that you're not in the present moment. Because that's what's creating your reality, is the present moment. There is always ever the present moment. So once you start becoming so attached to your dream life, becoming so attached to your future, you forget to do all the work in the present. That's really where the gem is in the present. You're doing the work in the present moment. So that way you can create a better life for yourself in the future, but you're not attached to your future. That's your ego talking. Your ego is attached to your future and attached to your past because it's non-existent. Your future is constant. Your ego is trying to constantly prove that you exist based on your past and based on your future. But it's just the present moment. Okay, so while you're doing all this work, do it in the present moment. How do you stay present? Stay aware. Stay in self-observation. Ask yourself every single day, am I aware? And focus on your eyes. Like I said, that just changed the game for me. I don't know what it was, but as soon as she said, what's looking through your eyes right now is awareness, and I put my attention through my eyes, I became aware. I became aware of everything simultaneously at once. And that's awareness. And staying in that awareness is what's staying in the present moment. Awareness can only be felt in the present moment. Your true self, your happiness can only be found in the present moment. Do not put your happiness in your dream life. Yes, it's something that you want. Yes, it's something that you deserve. It is your birthright. But don't put your happiness in the future. Don't put your happiness in material things, because it's always constantly changing. It's never going to stay the same. Those material things are not going to be with you when you die, but you do want to have a good experience while you're here on this earth. But the only way to do that is to be happy within yourself. That's why self-observation is so important, because you figure out what's not making you happy and you change it. Yeah, having your dream life is going to make you have a better experience, but what's truly the key is your heart. What's truly the key is being happy within yourself so that you're not moved by anything. So that way, whatever comes and whatever goes, you're content either way. That is the ultimate power. That's what you should be going for. That's the dream life that you should have. That's what you should be visualizing. Yourself happy, regardless of what goes and what comes around you, regardless of what manifestations that you get or not. That's what's going to make you truly appreciate them. That's what's going to truly make you have that joy when they're in your life, because you're going to be present with them. If you're never truly present and you have things out of ego, you're just going to want more and more power. You're just going to want more and more, and you will never be satisfied. The reason why you don't have your dream life right now is because you're not satisfied within yourself. You need to have that happiness within yourself. Having that happiness within yourself is detaching from your mind, detaching from your body, being in the present moment, constantly doing the work, self-observing, doing the shadow work, visualizing, and you will have it. And whenever you feel yourself going back into that negative way of thinking, going back into those old habits, this is a good thing. That means you were at the finish line. Your old thoughts and your old ways of being are getting ready to purge themselves out. That's why they're coming back so strong. That's why after months of doing really good, it seems like, oh, those little negative behaviors start coming back up again. Oh, these people are starting to come back into my life. Oh, my ex just texted me. The universe wants to see what you are going to do, if you are going to respond the same way that your old self would have. I don't want to say the universe is testing you, but the universe is giving you an opportunity to see your growth. The universe is giving you an opportunity. Okay, you say you want your dream life, so I'm going to give you the same circumstances. I'm going to give you the same experiences that you had before, and I want to see if you're going to choose differently. I want to see if you're going to respond differently. And once you respond differently, those things, you did it. You did it. Once you respond differently, you did it. Once you're not operating in the same way, you did it. So every single time you feel that pull back, every single time you want to go back to that old habit, first, think about the life that you want to have. Think about yourself in this new reality. Think about the happiest, most aligned, most authentic version of you. Think about what they would do. Ask yourself every single day, what would my higher self do? What would the version of me that has everything that I want do? And second of all, shift. It doesn't matter what it is. Every single time that you feel that these negative thoughts are coming back, shift your perspective immediately to what's going right for you. Shift your perspective immediately to something that you're grateful for. Shift your perspective immediately inwards. Do not listen to it. Just shift it. You decide where your attention goes. If you decide every day that you want to be distracted and that you want to go after these negative habits and that you don't want to do shit with your life, fine. That's what you're going to attract. Go do it. But every single time you have that negative emotion, or you have that feeling, or you have that thought, and you immediately shift it to something else, every single time, your habitual thinking now is going to be positive. It's not overnight. Because your mind, your ego is not going to like that you're changing. The ego fears change. Your ego does not want you to change. It wants you to stay in your comfort zone. And the only way to achieve what's on the other side of you, the only way to achieve your dream life is to get out of your comfort zone. You have to get out of your comfort zone. You have to face yourself. You have to face your shadow. You have to observe yourself. You have to bring up what you've been avoiding. Go into places that you normally wouldn't. And while you're visualizing, start going out and looking for these things. If you want your dream house, go start looking at houses. Go start talking to people. Go start looking up the information that you want to receive. Go start looking at people who have what you want and get acquainted with it, because that's your new reality. That's what you're about to experience. Surround yourself with people who think like you, who think better than you, who can challenge you to grow, who can challenge you to be better. Because this is also how you're going to achieve your dream reality, by assuming that it's already yours and operating in that state. Surround yourself with positive influences. Surround yourself around the right environment. You can be doing all of the work possible, but if your environment is still shitty, you're going to be drawn back into that same thing. You're going to be drawn back into those same habits and those same beliefs and those same patterns. So even if you can't get out of your current environment, make an environment. Go start reading books of people who are rich and millionaires and who are telling you what they've been doing. Go start surrounding yourself with positive influences. Go listen to the right music. I'll link my manifestation playlist down below. Start listening to positive things that actually uplift you. Start watching positive things. If you're going to distract yourself, you might as well distract yourself with positive things. They're going to put you in alignment with your dream life. Surround yourself with positivity. Anything, like I said, go back to that higher self, go back to that version of you that has everything that you want, and ask, is this what they would do? And if it's no, don't do it. Simple. You have come such a long way. I don't care where you are right now. I don't care if you're like, Shira, but I'm this and I'm this and I've been doing this and I feel so down and I don't know what to do. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where you're at in your life right now. You have the answers within your heart. Tap into your heart space. Go within. Because that's where you're going to find God as well. In that stillness, you will know who God is, and you will get to build a relationship with your Creator, and you will be led. God will create through you. Look at all of this stuff around you. It was created by man through God. It was created in the image of God. All of the stuff that, like, anything that you're utilizing right now, it was created by somebody, because somebody had the vision and somebody said, I'm going to create this, and they went after it and stopped at no means. And it changed the world. You can change the world. You have the power within you. Again, you would not have the desire if it wasn't meant for you. You wouldn't have the desire if you didn't already have it. You deserve, it is quite literally your birthright. You need to start believing in yourself. Start believing in your power. Start believing in your magic, because it exists. Why not you? Why can't you have your dream life? Why can't you have abundance? Why can't you be happy? Ask yourself these questions, because you deserve it.